Okay, so picture this. You're slogging through a swamp, right? You step on this little muddy hill to get a better view, and then bam, the ground just explodes around you. Today, we're going to break down an absolute masterclass in ambush design, the deadly mound of the lizard men. And right away, the source material just lays it out for you with this quote. You gotta love the wording here. They're not just any lizard man, they are exceptionally evil. This tells you straight up, this is not some kind of misunderstanding you can talk your way out of. No, this is a warning. These are the bad guys, and they are not friendly.
And this is where they live. I mean, just looking at this, you can almost feel the mud just sucking at your boots, can't you? The fens here, they aren't just a setting, they're basically another enemy. Moving as a slog, you can't see anything, and the whole vibe is just designed to wear you down before a single enemy even shows up.
So, just to make sure we're all on the same page, what exactly is a fen? Well, to put it simply, it's a swamp. You know, think murky water, thick mud, tons of overgrown plants. For any group of adventurers, this basically means every single step is a challenge. And trying to run away? Forget about it. The environment itself is part of the trap.
Now here is where the design gets really, really clever. These lizard men, they're nocturnal. So during the day, their entire home just looks like a boring old mound of dirt you'd probably walk right by. But that mound, that's the trigger. That is the one wrong step that turns a boring hike through a swamp into an absolute battle for your life. And that brings us right to the ambush itself. The very second an adventurer's foot touches the soil of that mound, the fight is on. There's no warning, no chance to talk. You've basically just stepped on their roof, and, well, they're coming out to have a word with you.
And just like that, the ground erupts. Not just one or two, but six. 6 male warriors burst out of hidden holes to defend their home. For a typical party, suddenly being surrounded by 6 angry fighters is a total nightmare. The element of surprise is completely 100% on their side.
All right, so how tough are these guys? Well, their armor class is a decent 5, and with 2+1 hit dice, they can take a hit or two. But the really critical stat here is that last one. Morale 12. In game terms, that means they will not run. They will not break. They are defending their home, and they will fight to the death. You are not scaring these guys off.
And here is just a brilliant little touch. Right in the middle of this chaotic, desperate fight, you spot it. Something shiny. The biggest warrior, probably their leader, is wearing this necklace that's worth a fortune. And suddenly, you've got a choice to make. Do you play it safe and just try to survive? Or do you risk it all to take down the big guy and grab that reward?
So, let's say you did it. You somehow survived the ambush. The guards are down. You're probably wounded, definitely exhausted, but you're alive. The thing is, the danger is far from over. Now you've got a whole new decision to make. Do you push your luck and actually go inside their lair?
And this is the question every adventurer has to ask at this point, right? You know you only took out the guards. The rest of the tribe, you know, the families, maybe a chief, and definitely the treasure, it's all still down there in those dark, cramped tunnels. So, do you risk it? What else could possibly be waiting for you? And if you do decide to go in, you're immediately hit with another tactical problem. These guys have the home field advantage. It says right here that the first person to crawl into that darkness automatically loses initiative. Unless you're smart about it. If you shove a torch in first, you can ruin their night vision and even the odds. It's a simple little rule that rewards thinking ahead instead of just rushing in. Once you're inside, the whole thing unfolds in stages. First, you've got the last male guard, then 3 females, and you can bet they're going to fight like crazy to protect their home. But then, the whole tone changes. You find the young lizard men who can't even fight back. And finally, the nest of eggs, the entire future of the tribe. It suddenly gets a lot more complicated, doesn't it? It stops being a fight against monsters and starts to feel more like you're wiping out a family.
Which brings us to why you're really here in the first place. The treasure. After fighting off warriors and dealing with the, moral grayness of it all, it's finally time to get paid. And the main hoard? Well, it turns out it's hidden right under that nest of eggs you just had to deal with. So, what's in the big treasure chest? A handful of copper and silver, plus a small gold ingot. It's not exactly a dragon's hoard, but hey, when you add it to that pricey necklace from the leader, it's actually a pretty nice score for a lower-level party. This is the payoff for all the risk and bloodshed.
But wait, there is one last nasty little twist. Mixed in with the coins are 2 potions. One of them is a healing potion, which you desperately need right now. The other one? It's poison. A fatal mistake. and they look exactly the same. So after all of that, the whole encounter comes down to one last gamble. Do you take a drink, hoping to heal, or do you walk away, afraid it might be your last?
And really, that's the question this whole scenario leaves you with. You fought your way through a deadly swamp, you survived a brutal ambush, you cleared out an entire lair, and you grabbed a treasure that came with one last deadly choice. When you add it all up, the cost, the danger, the decisions you had to make, was it actually worth it? I guess that's for every adventurer to decide for themselves.